Hey, this is Carlos GGS from Guitar God Secrets, and I want to talk to you today about how to play like Yngwie Malmsteen, how to play like the shred maestro of the 80s. Well, one of the key parts of Yngwie's sound is his use of the diminished scale. Now, he uses it in various ways. One of the more neoclassical sounds is what they call the Phrygian dominant. I'm not going to get into a bunch of crazy terms with you today, and I definitely don't want to get into a lot of theory. But it's very simple to kind of emulate some of that sound if you want to throw it in as a little dash of spice into your playing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use A minor, and I'm going to give you a little example of a riff, a little quick riff that'll have you shredding in no time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be in A minor, which of course, as you know, here's the first pentatonic box position. Now, what are we doing that's different here that's going to make this transform into... Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use the diminished scale. Now, the diminished scale is just a fancy way of saying I'm playing every third note. I'm basically using a minor interval or a minor third interval all the way up the scale. So in A minor, that means I play 5 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14, 14 to 17, and there you go, we're back at the octave again. Here we are at the, the equivalent of the 5th fret and the next octave. So what we're doing is basically we have 4 sets in there, and that comprises the diminished scale. It's called a symmetrical scale. You have the same effect with the augmented scale, which is actually 4 notes, which is a whole other sound, right? But the diminished scale is very obvious when you hear it. You kind of get that weird feeling. Now, the diminished scale is, I guess you'd say, not enhanced, but brought out a little bit more by the Locrian Mode. Don't freak out. This is just theory, just stuff if you already know it. Just kind of start in the back of your head. The Locrian Mode, the minor key, A minor, is really the Aeolian mode. That's really what it is, the Aeolian mode. For those of you that are wanting to get a little bit more theory under your belt, that's something to remember. Now, when we go to the whole diminished scale, what we're really doing is kind of emphasizing the second chord in that scale. So in the Aeolian or minor key of A minor, the next chord up is not a B minor or B major, it's a B diminished, which has this tritone devil's sound to it. They used to call it the devil's, well, I forgot what the exact term was. The tritone itself is basically that interval right there, and it's a funny thing because that's also the blues note when you're going. So that note in blues is actually considered demonic in the old circles. Well, let's do this riff, and I'm going to give this to you real quick. I want you to practice it and speed it up as much as you like to get that Yngwiean sound. So here we go, from 4 to 7 on the low E, and you can of course double hammer on to get the effect I had at the start or in this video. And it also gives you a little different nifty sound. But 4 to 7, low E, 5 8 A, 6 9 D, 7 10 G. Now this is where we have to move up because of the change in tuning. The B string is 9 to 12, and the high E string is 10 to 13. And the cool thing is, if you transform that down, back down to the low E, it works out symmetrically because you started at 4 and 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 13. Pretty cool, huh? So again, let's do it all the way through. And again, back down. And you can either pick it, you can hammer it on, you can trill it, whatever you like. And you can even throw in this one extra note. I'm going to give you a little key here. This is a little hot bonus, is throw in the next note along with this interval. So 4 7 on the low E, but also stick in the 5th fret. Then the next string would be 5 7 8. Next one would be what? 6 7 9, 7 9 10 on the G, 9 10 12 on the B, and 10, 12, 13 on the high E. And you get yourself that full diminished effect, and if you rip through that baby at lightning speeds, you're going to definitely have that neoclassical sound. Well, there you go. A little quick tutorial. It's kind of a beginner lick, but it's something that if you work that into your playing and you know how it works, and you kind of feel around a little bit, play with it in the scale, and hear how it works, you're going to get a very intuitive feeling of how these intervals, the distance between two notes, work to make those sounds that Yngwie gets in his playing, and the overall neoclassical sound. Now, if you want to learn more about how to play faster, how to get better, how to be the shredder or the whatever it is you want to be, you could be playing country and you still want to shred a little bit, pop music, anything, you want to get better faster, and that means you got to use your practice time to the utmost. Go on over to guitargodsecrets.com/free video. That's guitargodsecrets.com/free video. Get my free tip on how to maximize, basically double the effectiveness of your practice time. Get better, faster now. You need to do that because all we got is this time with our instrument. And this is Carlos, GGS from Guitar God Secrets. Been great talking to you. Come on back for more. Live to play, play to live. Pete Townsend, Windmill.